An FL Studio producer is about to hop on to Ableton Live. Now, I heard Ableton Live 12.2 is about to come out. I don't have access yet, so I have to warm back up to Ableton Live. So today, hello and welcome to BusyWorks Beats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button because an FL Studio producer, BusyWorks Beats, is going to try Ableton Live. If you don't know me, I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. We train over 1 million producers around the world. Some have gone to work with Drake, Kanye West, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, French Montana, Young Thug, Polo G, Trippie Redd, Lil Baby, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, a long list of folks. Let's hop straight into I almost said FL Studio. Let's hop straight into Ableton. First thing you need to do in Ableton is go to the packs area and make sure you download all the dope packs. So here are the dope packs I've downloaded. I have packs called Vinyl Classics, Upright Piano, Trap Drums by Sound Oracle, Synth Essentials, String Quartet by Spitfire Audio, because they just make fire, Retro Synths, Orchestral Woodwinds, Orchestral Strings, Orchestral Mallets, Orchestral Brass, Latin Percussion, Casio by Ali Larkin, Guitar and Bass, that's a good one, Grand Piano, again a good one, Golden Era Hip Hop Drums by Sound Oracle, shout out to him, Electric Keyboards, and a couple more called Classic Synths, Break Beats, and Brass Quartet. So those are the libraries I downloaded. It probably took up like 20 gigs of space. Okay, so you want to make sure you have enough space. So first thing I want to do in Ableton is start with a drum break, and then I'll build over top of this. Ableton's really good at manipulating audio. So I'm going to see if I can find my hard drive. Let me pause the video and add the folder here. Okay, once you hit add folder, you basically go through your Explorer to find your folder. So here I have my friends folder, and I guess it's scanning right now because it says no content, but there definitely is content here. So in that case, we have to let that warm up. So let's start with the pack. Let's go to Trap Drums by Sound Oracle. Let's go to Drums, and let's see if we could find, let's go to Samples, pardon me. Let's go to Loops, and let's see if we could find a drum loop or a percussion loop. What I love about Ableton is if you change your BPM, the preview actually matches the BPM. Right now we're at 120. Let's up this to maybe 140 BPM. I don't know if you could type in here. I think you click it and then type. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's drag this into an audio track. Let's turn this one down. So I just need a rhythm to build around. Okay, so let's just drag this to 8 bars. I've noticed a lot of people in Ableton, they start with loops and then they build around it. Control D is duplicate. Put this on loop mode. Okay, let's find some drums here. Now I'm gonna open up, let's right click. I don't know if you guys can see, I might need to move my head actually. Okay, so you guys should be able to see to a degree, but if you right click this gray area, go to insert MIDI track, we're basically gonna add another instrument track in here. So let's go right click, insert MIDI track. Let's go to drums and let's open up what's called a drum rack. This is like the FPC in Ableton. This is where we can load up drums. Okay, so I'd say the workflow in Ableton isn't my favorite because in FL you could just like open files straight from your browser and load them straight up. Most of the time you have to load stuff up in a drum rack, which takes a little bit more steps. Okay, so here I don't have my things loaded. So let's go back to packs. Let's go to Trap Drums by Sound Oracle. Let's go to his drums. Oh, he already has these built out. Okay, so cool. I could just double click. And now I can use my MIDI keyboard to trigger these sounds. Let's double click. There we go. I like that kick. Let's swap out that snare though. Okay, let's turn this metronome on. I don't even know what I just clicked. I guess it gives you a preview of each. That's pretty dope. I wonder if we can grab that MIDI. I don't know how to do that though. Okay, so here's my least favorite thing to do in Ableton is to draw out the drums. Let's left click and highlight an area here. Let's right click and we want to insert, where is it at? Insert empty MIDI clip. So this is like a pattern in FL Studio. We're gonna double click. Now the reason most people don't like any DAW is because the piano roll is too small. So let's be fair and make the piano roll big. And here if we hit the note, I believe, where is it at here? Okay, we have to turn these little headsets on so we can hear each key. So remember, we already have hi-hats, so we need to draw in our snares. We need to listen to the metronome. 1, 2, snare. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's say I want to make a change. Let's go back to our arrangement view. And what we want to do is make this longer. So I'm going to grab the edge. Now, as you guys can see, if I left click and just drag this, there's this little black thing right here. It basically just duplicates whatever you did over and over. Whereas in FL Studio, it will make it longer. So that's a big difference between FL and Ableton, is that function here. And let me see if I remember how to make this longer. So here, if we click here in the bottom left, it says the length. We want to make this length 8 bars. So now we've made this longer. Okay, so that's a little bit of a workflow difference, okay, between FL and Ableton. So now we can go back, start drawing in these drums. And again, I could technically play this stuff by hand, but I'm trying to show you guys how you would click it in. 1, 2, snare, 4, 5, 6, snare. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. I wonder if you could take off that follow, because you see how it moved the screen? I wonder if that is an option. I think maybe this button here. Yeah, okay. So it looks like this button turns off that follow thing so that you're not trying to figure out where your mouse is. So a little bit slower than FL, that's for sure. All right, so let's go back to the arrangement area. Where is it at? Boom, let's get out of there. Okay, so let's make this smaller. Okay, and let's hit Control D. So I heard well, I guess this is in their new version of the sampler. If we could find it. And I don't even know if we have a sampler inside of here. Okay, so we do have a sampler. So if you double click on the sample, we have the sampler. Now I saw in one of their previews, there's like this punch area. I don't know if this is the right sampler. So let's try to enhance this kick a little bit. Let's go to where it says filter right here. Let's switch this to MS so we can add some what's called drive. Too much drive can distort the sound though. Let's do the same thing with the snare. Add some drive to it. We can pull down the output gain. I just wanted it to sound more distorted. Okay, so far we have a decent bounce, nothing too crazy. Okay, so let's figure out some instruments here. Let's go to a MIDI channel. Then let's see if these packs load up here. Let's go to our packs. And now let's start with maybe some electric keyboards. See if these are any good. Let's go to where it says sounds and let's load up a suitcase. And I'm going to use my keyboard to play the notes here. Now drawing in MIDI is a headache in my opinion in Ableton. So the velocity is a little heavy. Looking for something very like less saturated, less harmonic. These are very, very bitey tones. Let's see if we can find something smoother. Okay, so it's a decent sound, not my favorite sound though. And I'm not critiquing everything about everything. I'm just trying to figure out what sounds. Let's go to retro synths. Let's go to sounds. Let's try some stuff. Let's do vintage 80s. Probably something I wouldn't use in hip hop. switch it up a little bit. Let's record this in. Sounds okay. I mean, not the, again, we're just trying to build something here. All right, so I need a little count in. How do we turn the count in on? Where is the count in? One thing about Ableton, I just wish stuff was like more obvious. Okay, here we go. Count in 1 bar. Let's do, 1 bar count in. And let's turn the record button on. So we're playing E minor. Suspend it second, and then we're going to F. I gotta do it again because my sustain pedal wasn't on. Let's do that again. Okay, so the drums could be more active. Now, again, one thing that you have to get used to in Ableton is sometimes it keeps recording and it will overlap what you recorded. So that is a little bit of a headache. Sometimes you have to roll back that MIDI. Okay, so now that we have the MIDI, we could just left click to swap out the sounds. Now, again, I'm going to ask myself, would I ever use these sounds? The answer is no so far. This one's okay. This works. I don't know what that is because I didn't play that note. Where's that note coming from? That was weird. It just played like some random ghost note out of nowhere. So cool thing about Ableton, you know, I was going to do boom bap, but I swapped it for this just to explain a little bit easier. Let's click here. Let's cut this with Control E. Cool things you could do in Ableton that you can't do in FL is like just chop right here, and then you can reverse this part. Let me see what I think if you right click reverse clip, that's how fast it is to reverse. In FL Studio, you would have to do like 3 more steps. Let's see if we can do some kind of, let's double click in here. So see, I'm working with the audio more than the actual like MIDI stuff. Let's cut this. We want to, let's pitch this down 3 semitones. Okay, we can also do truncated transients. Let's just see what this sounds like. Okay, so again, it's more based on loops in my opinion. Let's add our bass line in. Let's go back up here to MIDI. Let's see if we can find a bass. So I do love their guitar and bass pack. One thing I'll say from my experience in Ableton is it feels so like done that it's not, there's nothing else to do. I know that sounds stupid. Like once you complete your thing, it's like, what else is there to really add to it? Okay, let's add this bass in here. Let's say record. Okay, so once we have that, it's like, what else do we really do? Not much. And one thing that's cool about Ableton, you can right click and extract what's called a groove. This is better for more boom bap stuff. But if you want your melodies and bass to really be in pocket, you can extract a groove, and we can basically quantize different things according to that groove. You can do something similar in FL Studio. It's much more complicated than this process, however. So let's extract that groove. Let's go inside of the electric bass. Let's double click and let's go to the left side here. Let's find that groove menu. If I can find it here, where's the groove menu at? Okay, here it is, groove. Click the drop down. Let's go to hi-hat trap, and then quantize. Where's our quantization button? Okay, there's no, okay, I used to think there was a quantize button right there, but I guess not. Let's hit Control A and right click. Let's figure out where to quantize. Control U is quantize for this DAW. Now it should lock it into this groove. Actually, I think this button might be right here. This might be a commit to groove button. Oh, you know what? I took off my info. That's why. Here we go. Okay, sorry, wrong button. It's not the right button. Click where it says commit to groove, and that should lock it to the groove. And that's how people get these like super tight performances on Ableton. It's because of that feature for the most part. That and the time warp feature. So now that bass is right in pocket with the hi-hats. Let's add some top line stuff. Let's add some more MIDI tracks. Let's go to our packs here. Let's add some grand piano in here. Just really high frequency grand piano. Let's add that. So I'm playing B, E, B. So we're playing the fifth tonic and then back to the fifth in a really high octave. That's all we need is just those three. So far, I mean, the beat's cool. What else we could add in here. So at this point, I'm just trying to add stuff to go over top. What is this? Okay, so this doesn't look like it's gonna open up. Okay, so not compatible with Apple Silicon, so that was a waste of a download. See if we could delete this, uninstall, yes. All right, that was waste. Let's go to Synth Essentials. Let's try some sounds here. Let's do, we need like high-end stuff or a lead sound. This is cool, like ambient sound. Wasn't ready there. Ambient sound, especially if I did my drums a little bit slower and less rapid. So it's like, what else is there to really do? I mean, we already. Let's see if we can merge these. I don't know if that's a thing in here, consolidate. Okay, so I consolidated the audio so that I can just treat it as one thing. Let's add some filters in here. Let's add some audio effects. Let's just add an EQ. Cut the highs. Shave off some of that low, some of the highs, I should say. I feel like the kicks could be a little bit more interesting. See if we can turn this kick up. Now let's go to audio effects and let's find, I forgot the new thing. I think it's called like Saturator or something. This thing is pretty dope. I think it's Saturator. Or is it called? It's called like Roar or something. I think it's called Roar. Actually, no. Yeah. Okay. So let's use what's called Roar, and we're using this on the drums. So let's see. It's been a minute since I used all this stuff. Where did the audio effects go? Here we go. So from what I understand, this is a multi-band saturator. There we go. So now we're really getting that punching out of that kick and snare. The only thing is if you push that kick too hard, it sounds wobbly. I wonder if they have a like stereo widener. I don't know if they have that. Maybe utility. Let's widen it out. I don't think that does anything. That only does stuff for already wide sounds. Yeah, I don't know what their stereo imager would be called. Not sure. Maybe it's just the delay. So I'm just creating a difference between the left and the right. We have a vibe, but it's very basic. See if we can add something to these strings to make it sound cooler. So one thing about Ableton, it's like, I don't know, it's you can get the job done, but where's the vibe? That's all I want to know for the Ableton folks. Where's the vibe? Like, I'm not. Let's see if we can print this. Let's freeze and flatten the track. So now it's audio. Let's see if we treat this as audio. Maybe it will. Maybe we could do something cooler. Oh, that sounds fire. Now we have, so because we lowered that 8 semitones, we have to lower all this audio 8 semitones. So what I will try to do, I don't even know if this is possible. Let's see if we can highlight all of our MIDI except for the drums. I don't even know if this is a function. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all this. Let's see if we can flatten and freeze and flatten this stuff. And I can't tell if it did the piano or what. Let me go back. Okay, so it only does it line by line. So let's freeze and flatten everything here. Now this is very fast, converting it to audio. I love that feature. That's dope. And again, like I said, most, in my opinion, the fun in Ableton is the audio files, not the MIDI. The MIDI doesn't have the same vibe. Okay, so let's click in here. Let's lower this stuff by 8 semitones so that it matches the strings. And let's see if we get a vibe out of this. Because now we're introducing artifacts and different things. More than just pitching something down. Okay, let's go back. This has a vibe. Trying to figure out what happened to the strings. It seems like they go away for a while. I think it's because this mode. Let's turn this on something else. Okay, so on beats mode, it was chopping the transients. So this feels cooler to me. The hi-hats are still a little. Again, because I didn't program the hi-hats. Let's add some more kicks in here. It's the one thing about Ableton too, I forgot that hold on, y'all, I gotta get out the screen. So that when you change something over here, it doesn't change the thing over here. So there's little workflow differences between FL. I think the kick is a little too early too. Let's see if we can nudge these. I think you just hit the arrow, if I'm not mistaken. No, okay, you hit control. Okay, so control does micro movements. Oh, not control. Okay, wrong button there. What happened here? What happened to our kicks, huh? I don't know what the heck happened. Maybe because I used the wrong thing. Let's hit control. There we go. So now our kick is delayed. Fits better in that groove. So this is a vibe. I like this. But to get here took a while. And let's see if we can do something with this sound here. Let's see if we could like highlight half of it, reverse it. Just do weird stuff to it so it sounds different. Sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's work on the master channel or the mix bus. You guys can't really see, but on the main, if you go to main, this is your main output. To add effects, you have to click at the top here and then go to this panel. This should allow us to add effects. So let's see. Firstly, I think we're clipping. So let's turn stuff down. Actually, we don't need to turn stuff down. We just need a saturator. Let's see what they even have on here. Again, Roar is the newer version, but let's turn the output down here. Let's try that compressor. The glue compressor. Turn the threshold down. They also have a soft clipper in the compressor. All right, let's turn stuff up that needs to be turned up. There's a quick way to add gain, clip gain. If there is, it's not obvious. Maybe if I double click. There we go. I mean, again, it's not a bad beat, but it's not like a beat that will change my whole perspective on Ableton. And again, it could come down to my know-how of the DAW, which that is a limiting factor. But it's like, what would I even do past this? That's my issue with Ableton. It's not the beats I create, but it's like, what do we do past this point? Let's arrange this a little bit. Maybe that will open my ear to some ideas here. Let's take out the bass elements and the drums. Let's fade in these hi-hats. So let's say I want this little hi-hat roll one beat earlier. I'm going to grab this, drag it over here. Duplicate it, and what I might do is fade this so it feels like it's leading into the next one. I don't know why it's cross fading. I must have, okay, for whatever reason it's cross fading. Okay, so again, I guess the weak point to this production is just the fact that I didn't control the rhythm, but I do like the hi-hats. Let's add a tiny delay on the hi-hats, just so it's a little more in the groove. Now we're not gonna have, let's turn this all the way down. We're gonna have feedback dry wet 100%. We're basically just delaying the hi-hat. So if it's in the groove, there we go. Feels much better over timing. So this feels better. Now that I've made these small adjustments, this does feel better. Let's go to our master bus here. Where did my effects go? Here we go. See if we can get any more vibe out of it. Let's add EQ in here. Maybe boost our highs. Let me go back to the snare, turn it down a little bit. So again, I'm not mad at this beat. It's turning into a thing now. I think it just needed those fine-tune adjustments. Let's add like one more supportive synth underneath. Let's duplicate this area here. Control D. Let's maybe take out the bass and swap it out for something else. Let's do like a synth bass. Now I'm gonna go add a MIDI. So now that I've arranged it, it's starting to feel more open. Okay, so that's what the issue was. The arrangement didn't feel right. Okay, so hopefully you guys get over that hurdle too. Let's add some synth bass in here. Let's see which one even vibes with this track. It's hard to hear it though. Let's start with this one. I was like, what does that sound? Okay. Why does it keep playing on loop with the rig? Nothing's playing right now. Okay. Let's see if this works with this track. I don't know why it sounds out of key. Oh, I forgot we're 8. Okay, we're 8 semitones down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I forgot we're down. I like the motion, but I don't like the sound. So let's keep trying to find the right sound. Way too aggressive. Could be a cool sound, but it's slow. Let's add this in. Yeah. Let's record this. Oh. Control Z that thing. All right, we want to record from here, so I don't know how to make it start here instead of the beginning of the song. Sound so low, I guess. Let's double click. Let's pull this up an octave. Let's hit Control A. I believe it's Shift Up does the octave. Oh, that no. Wait, I think I have 2 different patches going. I didn't realize I did that. My bad. I recorded. Okay, that's why I'm just dumb. Didn't realize I recorded on the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, let's run that back. Again, I don't know why. I don't know how to turn off this like overlap MIDI thing. It is a little frustrating coming from FL, why it keeps like overlapping. All right, so one weakness I'd say about Ableton is the piano roll is nothing like FL's. That is a huge problem for us FL producers. So a MIDI controller is almost like essential for Ableton. Let's do the same thing we did. We can apply the groove here. Let's double click, find our groove drop down. Let's go to hi-hats and commit the groove. I think we might have to highlight our notes. Let's do the same thing, commit to groove. So now we'll follow the hi-hat timing. So now it has the better timing. So now it just needs some kind of reverby sound. Let's just try to find some leads. Again, we're just picking random sounds here. So let me go back and record this. That was a mistake. Let's try it again. Okay, so let's add some reverb to that so it doesn't sound so aggressive. All right, so I am liking it so far. Now, would I choose Ableton over FL? Nah, I like the I don't know, the experience of FL. Maybe I'm just super biased, which yes, I am. Let's add the wet level. Let's give this a decay time. Let's add a low cut here. We can also add some delay in here. Let's commit this to audio, freeze and flatten, and let's try different things like right click reversing it just to see what it sounds like. Sounds pretty cool. Let's try pitching this up an octave with just 12 semitones. That one sounded kind of weird. So again, the weakness here is probably just the drum selection that I used. See if we can swap their drums out with ours. And this is my last touch because at this point we're just overly producing here. Okay, so my drums have loaded up finally. Is that our kick in here? Trying to figure out why this kick sounds soft. Can't make out why. That kick is usually really hard. So it must be some kind of process that's going on that, okay, the drive was up, that's why. I don't know, the kick sounds weird now. Okay, let's Control Z our way back to where we were because that kick does not fit whatever is going on here. So there's some mixing thing that I don't know what part of the chain it's in that's causing that other kick to sound super weird. So let's just leave it here. You guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. now I kind of want to add brass in here just to see. Let's go to packs. Let's do an ensemble. Kind of like the tone. Okay, let's try it different. It's a little too bright for me. Is like a little too bright. So I do like what it could be, but again, it's a little bright for my style. But that's a cool sound though. Let's just shave off some highs. Let's see if that's a fast way to do this. Usually it's called color. Okay, that's a filter. This needs a little more drive in my opinion. Also we have an articulation selection tool. I don't know what that controls though. Okay, so we have mute legato. Okay, so that's what that is. To me, it needs more aggression. So let's add an audio effect. Let's add the roar so that it has more harmonics in here. All right, so I mean, again, like I said, I wouldn't choose Ableton over FL. It just feels a little... distorting that brass. Shaper. That's dope. There we go. I like this tone. Sounds like tube compression. Let's make it wider. Why is that thing still rocking? It's like, let's print this to audio because I don't know why. All right, so apparently there was like a sustain that just kept going. That was weird. I like that saturated sound, but only on the bass elements. I don't know if there's a way to just left click and drag stuff. Oh, I think we just did it. So let's take it off the master because it's too aggressive on all the sounds. copy it. Let's paste it on the drums. It sounds terrible on the drums. Let's try it on the strings. It sounds pretty fire. Try changing the BPM. Yeah, that brass is getting on my nerves now. It's just the whole way through. Take off this stereo effect on the drums. There we go. All right, so I'm not going to touch it anymore. So it's a decent beat, not the craziest. All right, so let me know what you guys think about this beat. You guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. So coming back, I think the advantages in Ableton Live, the audio manipulation, supreme. The reverse features, the pitching up very, quickly. You could just click on stuff. The committing to the groove, locking in grooves from drum tracks, supreme. Even some of the effects have a really unique sound. It's just some of the workflow stuff kind of makes me, I don't know. What do you guys think? Go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. If you want to learn how to make beats like the pros, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium.